Tonight, we are digging into STEM in Oklahoma. We have several growing industries in the state that rely on science, tech, engineering, and math, and like aviation and IT. But where do we stand on preparing the next generation to fill those essential positions? Adam, you've pulled some statistics?
Yeah, we found some numbers, Wendy. Pharmaceutical Research and Manufacturers of America put out this infographic with some things that we want to look at. Now, right now, there's 10 national STEM programs open to Oklahoma students and teachers, and by 2026, Oklahoma projected to have more than 92,000 STEM positions to fill. But we looked at some recent data, looked at a series of STEM education indicators, found Oklahoma students generally rank in the bottom half of states in terms of proficiency in STEM. Only 47% of graduating Oklahoma high school students are interested in a STEM major or career. That's compared to the national average, which is 48%.
There is a prestigious high school in Oklahoma specifically for students who are passionate about STEM. Fox 25's Paige Taylor has an inside look at the Oklahoma School of Science and Mathematics.
You can find one of the top-ranked public high schools in the nation right here in Oklahoma City. The school's focus is specifically on science and mathematics. Sylvana Knapp is a senior at the Oklahoma School of Science and Mathematics, a prestigious residential public school made up of 122 students and 25 faculty members, 18 of which have their PhD. Knapp says she wanted the opportunity to take more advanced classes, so she made the move from Stillwater to attend school at OSSM.
Through OSSM, I've been able to take many classes such as physics, mechanics, and then more advanced chemistry classes.
Knapp is leaning toward going into the medical field, something her education at OSSM is preparing her for. She recently took home first place for her presentation on pancreatic cancer research at the 2024 Biological Stain Annual Commission meeting.
Through OSSM, I've had the opportunity to participate in a research mentorship with the OU Health Science Center, and this has been one of my favorite parts about being at OSSM.
Students live on campus and take 7 classes a semester, all for free, funded by the Oklahoma State Legislature.
The classes that we teach here at OSSM are not high school classes, they're not even AP classes. They're actual college level classes. OSSM consistently ranks as one of the top 10 high schools in America. Last year there were 2 ranking services that were released. In one of them we were ranked the 5th best high school in America, and another we were ranked the 2nd.
The president of OSSM, Tony Cornforth, says generally speaking, a third of OSSM students want to go into the medical field, a third of students want to go into engineering, and another third want to go into computer science.
A great STEM education produces a STEM workforce, and a STEM workforce is a major driver of the economy.
Oklahoma students typically apply the spring of their sophomore year to attend OSSM their junior and senior years. For more information on the admissions process to OSSM, head over to our website. Reporting in Northeast Oklahoma City, I'm Paige Taylor.
3 seniors at the Oklahoma School of Science and Mathematics are among the first in the state to publish independent research. The school announced today the students co-authored an article titled Life in Algorithm, Redefining Human Medicine. Their research explores the growing impact of algorithms and data analytics in the field of medicine. It also offers insights on how these technological advancements are shaping patient care, diagnostics, and treatment approaches. Oklahoma State University's online STEM programs are also among the best in the nation. U.S. News and World Report assessed more than 1,600 online bachelor's and master's degree programs using metrics specific to online learning. OSU's College of Engineering, Architecture, and Technology ranked 14th in online master's engineering programs. OSU's Spears School for Business appeared in 4 different categories. It ranked 16th for Best Online Masters in MBA and 20th for Best Online Business Analytics MBA programs. OSU's College of Education and Human Sciences ranked in the top half of universities for Best Online Masters in Education programs.
Oklahoma State and Langston University working with National 4-H to deliver STEM Challenge kits to schools all throughout the state. This month, the company HughesNet partnered with National 4-H to donate 1,000 Food for Thought STEM kits. They're designed to introduce kids to topics like food insecurity and the food supply chain in an interactive way. The hopes that these kits will help ensure kids in rural and underserved areas can access quality STEM resources.
We know there is a significant need in the industry for more young people to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and math. When we hear from young people that schools cannot do it alone, that they're looking for opportunities where they can explore career pathways, build more technical skills, and really prepare for those workforce needs after high school. So 4-H is there to help fill that gap in the out of school time with hands-on learning and projects that can spark their curiosity and interest in STEM related fields.
Yeah, we want to keep it gamified, we want to keep it fun, but at the same time stretch their imagination. That's the whole idea behind STEM, is that we get the kids to think, wow, what if, how could I, what difference could I make, and what ideas do I have?
4-H also provides online interactive activities for kids ages 5 to 18, which includes things like coding, programming, and other computer science concepts.
Soon, all 17 elementary schools in the Norman Public Schools district will have STEM labs. Earlier this month, the Norman Public Schools Foundation donated $500,000 to help build STEM labs for hands-on learning. This donation is the largest single investment from the foundation, and the new foundation labs will be fully equipped to help kids more interested in learning about science, technology, and math to make them more prepared for careers in those fields.
That we'll be able to provide world-class curriculum and materials that will open up incredible learning opportunities for our students. Not just for some, but for every student that is here now and every future student that will go through our schools. The best part is these materials are cross-curricular, giving students the chance to explore subjects through real-world applications.
The recent Norman school bond vote allowed for the construction of these new labs.
The Oklahoma State Department of Education also been vocal about their support for STEM in Oklahoma classrooms. The department has a whole section on its website that's dedicated to STEM. The website offers several resources for administrators to learn how to bring STEM programs into their districts, as well as a section for educators on how to incorporate STEM into their classrooms and resources for families to help their kids learn more about STEM.
Well, with all those jobs coming down the pipeline, businesses and STEM industries will need to find the right workers to hire. We spoke with advocates and industry insiders to find out what needs to be done to meet demand and learn more about what opportunities are out there.
Fox 25's Tom Ferguson joining us live from the Oklahoma City airport with more. Tom, we know aerospace, one area where there's been a lot of attention lately.
Adam and Wendy, we talked to one aerospace company who said there's a lot of room to grow in this key Oklahoma industry, but concerns are being raised that the state could miss out on opportunities if the workforce isn't there.
It should be a thing that we stay awake at night on, is that we're not prepared with the workforce to meet those great STEM opportunities.
Tinker Air Force Base comes to mind as a pillar in the aerospace industry in Oklahoma, but it's not the only place employing STEM workers.
I do see that Oklahoma is ever growing in this field, and I do see it as a very big opportunity for all these engineers coming out of school.
Ryan Hill is with Field Aerospace, an aircraft modification company. He said Field employs a few hundred workers here, and they'd like to expand.
We're pushing on growth opportunities, trying to get more people in here, trying to grow the business.
But how can you get students ready for jobs as engineers, techs, mathematicians, and more at companies like Field, plus other STEM areas like medicine? Hill and the head of the state chamber both say Oklahoma students need early exposure to these opportunities.
We're not getting our students a vision of where they can go because they're not being able to see what does it mean to be a chemist or a doctor or a physician's assistant? What does it mean to be an engineer or an engineering tech?
Internships, externships, and experiential learning are essential, according to Chad Warmington. While he said the good news is state leaders are talking about what they need to do to expand STEM in Oklahoma, there are some challenges as well. This is a January report from the Legislative Office of Fiscal Transparency. Among its findings were this, quote, Oklahoma has a gap between current workforce training levels and degrees required for projected growth sectors. Another issue, according to the report, quote, most high schools are not prioritizing college and career readiness.
And Warmington said the number one factor companies look at when deciding between coming to Oklahoma versus somewhere else is workforce readiness. He said if the state wants to fill STEM jobs, that pipeline has to be in place. Live in Oklahoma City, Tom Ferguson, Fox 25 News.
A big problem with getting more STEM into the classrooms is the lack of internet in rural communities. And today, the Heartland Forward launched a new initiative to help expand telehealth access all across Oklahoma. The organization partnered up with the Ford and Cox Foundation to provide training through the State Department of Libraries to expand high-speed internet access to rural Oklahomans. Officials say boosting high-speed internet access in those areas is their top priority to improve telehealth access.
No one should be denied access to care based on where they live. And so we want to make sure that these rural communities have the ability to get the best quality care possible by engaging through telehealth and ensuring that they have the skills to do that.
At the event, librarians across Oklahoma got the chance to learn how to teach people to access their telehealth as well as improve their digital literacy skills.
And that was your big story breakdown tonight. You can learn more about STEM in Oklahoma schools and the workforce on OKCFox.com.
Don't forget, you can check out all of our previous big story breakdowns on our YouTube channel. Just scan the QR code on your screen or search OKC Fox.